Hi, so I've travelled all the way to Syracuse to see, yes, Archimedes. So let's investigate this in more detail, shall we? So this is Archimedes himself, of course, and what do we have here? Eureka, yes, his famous words, Eureka, upon discovering his principle of flotation. Look at this magnificent face, just gazing out. Okay, so what is he looking at? So actually, behind, he's looking out to, yes, Syracuse, it's that way. Okay, and that's kind of what he's looking out towards. Yes, what's he holding here, do you think? Some sort of scientific instrument? Because not only was a mathematician, he was a scientist as well. And all around this magnificent plinth, if I just come out, there's attributes to a lot of his discoveries. Let's just have a look at a few of these. So, what do you reckon this one is? I'm going for principle of flotation. Yeah. So this bit was actually quite long in the video, so I'm just going to go through the highlights. Well, that's got to be Archimedes' screw, hasn't it? Archimedes' spiral, the Archimedean spiral. So you've got a pair of compasses here, and almost like a right-angled triangle. I think what he was trying to do was he was trying to construct polygons to estimate the value of pi. And this one's all about balance. Kind of looks like a seesaw, but with the pivot that's not in the middle. So I love this one here. This is about the focus directrix property of the parabola. That's marvellous. Right, this is apparently what Archimedes was most proud of. His most proudest achievement was in looking at a relationship between a sphere and a circumscribed cylinder. So the idea is that the cylinder, as you can see, the radius of the cylinder is the same as the radius of the sphere, but the height of it is the same as the diameter of the sphere as well. And what he found out was that the volume and surface area of the sphere was precisely 2/3 of the volume surface area of the cylinder. Marvellous. This is a long time ago. This is, I'm literally talking about thousands of years ago. Now we come to this. A little bit disappointed. Maybe if I colour that in, obviously it's the letter pi. Now, that letter was not actually around until much later. It was actually in Wales when William Jones decided to use that letter, and then it was popularised by Euler. But we get the idea. He was interested in what we now call pi. This pair of cogs, well, that's because of his love of all things engineering. It wasn't just a mathematician, scientist, but he's also an engineer as well. So there we go. And I like the geometric shapes that surround this plinth as well. So clearly we've got a triangle. I'm not about to measure it. I'd guess it's an isosceles triangle. I don't really think it's looking equilateral. But then you've got all sorts of other triangles as well around the outside of it. We'll ignore those bottles. Oh, but I won't ignore this. Yeah, get out of it. Okay, here we go. In fact, you're spoiling my video there, so I'm going to move these bottles. Yes, this is a parabola. Who doesn't love a parabola? Well, I love a parabola. So you got a parabola and you got a straight line. He was interested in how to work out the area of a parabola. And this is long before calculus was ever even a thing. But for centuries, thousands of years even, millennia, mathematicians are always interested about work out the area bounded between two curves. There we go. Let's just come out again. Hey, there we go. So naturally I stopped to take some photographs and noticed how I'm dressed in blue, white, blue, depicting the Greek flag. All on purpose, of course. So I'm just going to show you something I noticed when I was posing for the photograph, of course. So look here, this mathematical instrument, that's a pair of compasses. I noticed it because I caught that on my shorts. It's really quite sharp, actually. Right, look at this. Look what Archimedes did to my shorts. He put an actual hole in my shorts. Let's just check. His toes are there. Because those who remember me doing the Pythagoras statue, someone pinched one of his toes. I'm pleased to see that so far Archimedes is unblemished. He remains complete and intact, as he should be as well. So, Eureka! Well, this is a very famous story, isn't it? So I'm not going to go through the story again because I'm sure a lot of you already know, but the idea is that upon discovering the principle of flotation, Archimedes jumped out of his bath and then ran down the street shouting, "Eureka! Eureka!" Now what might that look like? Eureka! Eureka! Yeah! Eureka! Yes, got it. So this is amazing. So he was born 287 BC. That's before Jesus Christ. BCE if you prefer, but I'm rather old-fashioned, sorry. And he died 212 BC. And he lived right here his entire life in Syracuse. And he's a Greek mathematician, of course. Now at this point some of you are thinking, hang on, you just said he's a Greek mathematician, but Syracuse is in Sicily. You're absolutely right. So what's all that about? Why is it that this person here, Archimedes, is a Greek mathematician, and yet here I am in Sicily, which is effectively Italy? Well, let me explain. So, what is an Englishman doing in Italy researching a Greek mathematician? Well, I'll tell you, English because it's me. But Archimedes, when he was born and when he lived, he was actually part of Greece. Okay, because this was thousands of years ago. Don't forget, in the political landscape has since changed. Syracuse was part of Greece. It wasn't until the Roman army invaded Syracuse in 212 BC that it ceased to become part of Greece and became part of Rome, the Roman Empire. That's of course when Archimedes died. It's not a coincidence, of course, because Archimedes was actually killed by a Roman soldier. How did that happen? That's a really good story. So here's a taster for what's coming up in part 2. First, I answer the question posed at the end of this video by drawing some circles in the sand. I invent the Archimedean spiral run. I try to explain Archimedes' principle of flotation. I perform an experiment. All of this and more to look forward to in part 2. I hope you'll watch it sometime. Oh, please like and subscribe. Things I do for maths.